Preparing. Got a little loading screen. Okay. I'm gonna hit a couple things here. All the tech stuff. All right, that should be working for you. All right. And welcome everybody to Frankly Speaking About Cancer, Eating Well During Cancer Treatment and Survivorship. I'm Kelly Kraft, Program Manager here at Gilda's Club Quad Cities. Before we get started, I just want to give a little bit of background about what Gilda's Club does. We are a cancer support community that provides 100% free psychosocial support to anyone impacted by cancer. So that's a person with a current diagnosis, that's survivors, friends, family, kids, and teens. And we do that with support groups, healthy lifestyle activities like yoga and meditation, educational workshops like this one, social events, and we're also a hub for resources and referrals. So give us a call, 563-326-7504, if ever you need us. And I'm lucky today to be here with Dr. Jager, and I will let her take it away. If you have any questions, comment them in the chat or on the comments on Facebook, and we'll get them answered. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you. All right. So these were slides that were provided by this talk, frankly speaking, and I added a couple little things to it. I work at Iowa Cancer Specialist. That's on the bottom of this slide. I'm a family practice trained physician, and I have an interest in nutrition and lifestyle interventions to help and heal patients. And that's kind of how I got into the cancer center, was doing that. I also have training in palliative care, which I provide those types of services for our cancer patients at Iowa Cancer Specialist. And the reason I'm here tonight is just to kind of talk about diet and lifestyle. So that's who I am. And I have no financial disclosures. Nobody pays me except for the cancer protection. I also work at a wound center too, so I do that as well. So what we're going to talk about is some of the common eating concerns that you could have both with treatment or post-treatment. We're going to talk about helpful nutritional tips, and then ways to not get cancer again. Right? So we want to be the healthiest we can be. So we're going to talk about that. The importance of phytonutrients. What's a phytonutrient, huh? Well, that just means plant nutrient. It's really simple. In the Greek, that's all it means. But some of you have these little books, and they're available here, and they have a whole table of what the phytonutrients are right in the front of one of them. And it just means that each color, the color of the vegetable or fruit that you're eating, that determines the phytonutrient. These are chemicals that we know have a lot of great power. So we're going to talk about them today, okay? And then we're going to talk about how to create a SMART plan. I do SMART plans all the time with my patients. And we'll go over what that means in a few minutes. Obviously, there's lots of benefits to talking to an actual dietitian, an oncology dietitian. They are specially trained. And then we'll have a section of useful resources that we'll go over. And then finally, questions and answers. But if you guys have a question during the presentation, please raise your hand, chat it in, whatever you need. I like questions and answers. So I may not always have the answer, but I'll enjoy the question and get back to you with the answer if I don't have it. Okay, so why is nutrition important in every step of the journey? It is important before you take any type of treatment, because we want to make sure that you're managing any of the problems you're having with difficulty eating, and then also so you're not losing weight. We want to maintain nutrition throughout treatment. We want to keep your body as strong as it can be. And so that's why nutrition is so important. You know, that whole saying, you are what you eat, really is true. So thinking about what we eat matters. Nutrition during treatment can help you with side effects like the nausea, diarrhea, or change in taste that can occur when you're having active treatment. It also helps you maintain that body weight and body strength as muscle mass as you're going through treatment. It also, the more healthy we are, the less likely we'll have to take breaks during treatment, which is everybody wants to get through and done their treatment, so we want to do that. And then eating problems like nausea and decreased appetite are very common in cancer treatments. So we'll talk about some ways to combat that. Nutrition after treatment also can help. Sometimes after you've had a treatment, you still have some side effects, post-treatment complications. So and weight changes. And so we can it makes a difference, our nutritional status. And then just because we survive cancer, we don't want to die of heart disease, right? Or diabetes. So we want to make sure that we are addressing all of those health issues and the best way is our nutrition. So common side effects of cancer treatment itself, appetite changes. And most of the time, I'd say a lot of times it's decreased, but sometimes it's increased, depending on what your treatment is, especially if you like have a steroid or something like that as a part of your treatment regimen, that might make you hungrier. So you could gain weight during cancer treatment because of that appetite change. Constipation and diarrhea, very common. Dry mouth, very common. Fatigue, sore muscles. You could have certain things, even sometimes things you used to love, all of a sudden you can't stand the smell of it. So changes in taste, weight loss, and then managing weight. So those can all happen. Appetite changes. So let's say you just have no appetite at all during treatment. Well, what can I do? Well, one thing is to maybe try a smaller amount to eat at a time and maybe eat a little more frequently. You'll see eating every 2 to 3 hours can help. It's so important to have that social support. And that's what's wonderful about having Gilda's Club here too, because this is a community as well. And so getting together with friends or family and eating your meal might help you get through that meal in a way. Have something easy to prepare. Pull it out of the freezer, out of the refrigerator. Maybe you have extended family or family members that can help prepare food for you, especially like right after treatment. You don't have to really think about it. You're not going to maybe feel your best. So have some things that are healthy on hand. If we don't have healthy things on hand, we end up driving through McDonald's, and we all know that's not best nutrition, right? So think ahead, plan ahead, and then keep track of what you're eating and how it makes you feel. This is just an emotional wheel. Sometimes it's really hard for us to put a word to how we feel. So these are just some different words that we might have that might help us communicate and even internalize and know. I think it's really important as part of the cancer journey too, is dealing with the emotional things. You know, something you used to love, all of a sudden you can't stand. That might make you angry, right? So anger, grief, fear, these are emotions that are not necessarily negative by themselves. In fact, they're vital, right? Sometimes we have to be angry. Sometimes it's better to be fearful. Sometimes we have to deal with the grief. And if you've got a cancer diagnosis, there's going to be grief. That body that you had is no longer the body you have now. And that's a loss. The thing is, if we just ignore it and stuff it, that comes out in other ways, right? And that harms our body. So I just kind of like to go over that. I know this is about nutrition, but I also think that's a really important thing for our overall health. And so how you even think about food makes a difference while you're going through the treatment and post-treatment. Okay, so we lost the top of this slide, but
I can fix that real quick if you like.
yeah, if you don't mind, it'd probably be better. I could get rid of that anyhow, huh? Thank you so much. It is only when these feelings are denied that they can be easily and rapidly processed and become toxic. All right, so if we just suppress it, it can become toxic. And the more we deny them, the more toxicity that can be in us. So, and we can end up exploding at someone, and it's not really them, it's all that emotion that we just don't know how to process because we've never been to this place before. And that's normal, right? Just understand that that's normal and seek others to help you with that. I guess that's the other key. Uh-oh.
I think it's because I clicked something, I made it mad.
I did make it.
I can fix it.
I could use a little.
Oh.
Okay.
This, it should work now.
All right, cool. Constipation. All right, that's really a common problem. You don't even have to have cancer treatment to have constipation. That's really common. We don't want constipation. Why? Well, we need food to move through, and it builds up. There's toxins that build up if we don't have bowel movements. That's one of the things we're doing and getting rid of it. So we don't want to sit around for several days with a bowel movement in our colon and not emptying it. So how do we get rid of it? Well, first, let's try to prevent it. So we eat foods that are higher in fiber. That will help promote bowel movements. Things like prunes are really good. Dried fruit's another option. The juices you can try as well. If you're trying to watch your carbohydrates or your calories, then juices aren't as good as the fruits. The fruits are going to have a lot more fiber. You know, you take a lot of oranges to make a cup of juice, but there's no fiber in it. You know, it's better to just eat the orange or a prune in this case. Hot beverages can sometimes do it. There's a particular tea called Senna. You may have heard of Senna Hot. That's a over-the-counter treatment for constipation, but there's also a tea called Senna that you can use. Hydration, always important, especially when you're in treatment, because we want to clear any toxins, and that helps the bowels move as well. If you're gassy or bloaty, make sure it's not because you're eating too much cabbage or beans or cauliflower. Those can cause problems. And then this last one is mood. How important is that? I know that when we're fatigued, that's the last thing we want to do, but if you really want to increase your energy, the more you move, the more energy you have. And it has the added benefit, oh, I'm not quite there. Diarrhea. Okay, here's the next one. So now we have the opposite problem, right? Too much going through. So doing some bland foods can sometimes help with that. You want to kind of avoid that things we were eating for constipation, which is the high fiber or high fat. Some people have, like after they've had the gallbladder out, they'll have kind of chronic diarrhea because they can't process the fats as well. So if we avoid fats, that helps that diarrhea. Probiotics are another good thing that you can consider. And the best way to get probiotics is to eat them naturally, not take a pill. So that would be a yogurt. Kefir is a milk-based probiotic. You can find that in the health food section. Kombucha is another one that you can do. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, that kind of stuff. Also has healthy bacteria in it. And then it says to talk to your healthcare team about before taking any probiotic supplements. So just be sure, you know, you have an adequate white count and other things like that before you take probiotics. Dry mouth, that's caused because we don't have enough saliva. It's a common side effect for lots of medications. So you can see sucking on something prior to eating, that kind of stimulates the salivary gland to make more saliva when you suck on something. Sugar-free gum can do it as well. And then the food you eat, you want to try foods that are moist, not dry, right? That makes sense. And then again, that hydration, very, very important if you're having symptoms of dry mouth. Fatigue, enlist family members and friends to help. It is normal and natural to have fatigue when they're going through treatment and even post-treatment. You know, you've just been through a ton of things. Cook in bulk on the days you have energy. that's a really good thing to try to do. Cook it up, put it in the freezer, put it in the refrigerator. That's a great way. The more you move, the more you'll be able to move. So keep moving. Take one day at a time, because just because today is not good doesn't mean tomorrow's not going to be better. So every day is a new day. Treat it like that. Set a menu and an eating schedule and follow it. Again, so much easier if we have a plan and we just follow the plan, then, oh my gosh, I didn't fix anything. I'm not really that hungry. I'm not going to eat, or I eat the wrong things. One of those two things happen when we don't have a meal plan and follow it. Emotion, that's what happens when we have emotion. It also helps our bodies and our feelings and how we are. So it helps our motion, helps our emotion. Mouth sores. Mouth sores also can occur with cancer treatments. Again, if you have something that's not going away, like that white, there can be like a white substance on the back of your tongue, that's a thrush. You want to let your provider know about that right away. But if you just have a mouth sore because of the treatment, remember that a lot of the cancer treatments work on rapidly dividing cells. Well, where are those cells? They're in our mouth, they're in our digestive tract, they're our skin. So that's why a lot of the side effects of treatment are the rapidly dividing cells. If you have a sore in your mouth, again, you're going to want to do moist foods, not anything hard that might hit that sore and make it worse. You want to avoid anything that's acidic, so like things that are tomato-based, like kind of acidic. You avoid those, or spicy foods that might hurt that sore. And then the baking soda rinse after eating, or even just when it feels bad, you can do that. The recipe for that's in one of these books too, so that's kind of cool. And then you always want to be sure you're doing good oral hygiene whenever you're getting treatment or even post-treatment, right? You know, these bacteria in our mouths have been linked to, they've been found in heart plaques in them. So we want to keep our mouth as clean as we can get it. So again, you gotta, you know, depending on like platelet counts and all those things, that can affect, you don't want to brush too vigorously, but you do want to have good oral hygiene. Nausea and vomiting. I think that's probably one of the most common side effects of any kind of treatment. And if you have that, eating small amounts of food at a time. So let's say, you know, you just vomited. Don't eat something big when you feel hungry again. Just eat a little bit, see if you can keep it down, and then move on. Again, choosing the blander foods, maybe things that are room temperature would be a good idea. Not anything fried or greasy. And then if you can't eat or drink very much, you want to be sure you're drinking something as much as you can so that you can stay hydrated. And sometimes you can't stay hydrated and you need to go into your provider and they'll give you fluids so you'll feel better. So that's really important too. There's of course always medications that you can use for nausea. And most of our patients, we prescribe those in advance. But talk to your healthcare provider if it's not improving. Another thing I've used sometimes is ginger water. You can make ginger water just by taking a ginger root and you can slice it up and boil it. And then it makes it just for like maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And then it makes a concentrate. And I just put a little bit of that in a cup of water. There's also ginger you can buy different, like a lot of people that are for morning sickness, they use the ginger, but it works for anybody with having nausea. So just something natural you could try. Smell aversions. If the smell turns your appetite off, don't be around. Hey, great reason to not have to cook. I can't do it. Get somebody else because it's turning me off. The food doesn't have as much smell if it's colder, so you could make the food cold. That would make a difference for you. Opening a window, turning on a fan, and then they suggest maybe doing a scented candle or some type of oil, essential oil, maybe in a diffuser, something to kind of mask the smell that's bothering you. I know I've had patients that just, they can't be in the house when cooking's happening. You know, they just go do something else, and that's okay. Change in taste, again, very, very common problem. The food will taste bland or have no taste. Then you want to add flavor, right? And you know what? Spices are great because spices have a lot of nutritional value too. They do special things, just like those phytonutrients we talked about at the beginning. The spices are good. So do add spice, add marinades, condiments, citrus might help. If foods taste metallic or bitter, you can add a little bit of sweetener to it. Plastic utensils instead of silverware, because you might be tasting or picking up that metal scent. Okay, weight loss. If you're having trouble with weight loss, you need to focus on higher calorie foods. So again, protein and maybe a little bit of healthy fats would be ways to add calories. I sometimes will have people do an extra, either you can purchase those things like Ensure and those other things to supplement, or sometimes it's kind of nice to just make your own smoothie. So we're going to make a smoothie later today, and you can add protein powder to smoothies to kind of enhance their nutritional value. And it's, again, something fairly easy to do, something you can make up in advance. So that's not a bad thing. And then the key is having the food available and ready, if that's at all possible in your life. So that'll help prevent weight loss. Ways to avoid eating extra calories, or ways to add extra calories, excuse me. So they recommend peanut butter. You could also do almond butter. It tends to have less sugar in it and a little more protein. Dried fruit, granola, chia seeds are really good. They have some really neat properties for detoxification. Milk, again, it could be an almond milk or coconut milk if you're lactose intolerant or just don't like to drink milk. Maple syrup is another way. Have soup for lunch, and you can put in some olive oil. This is the fats we're talking about here. So olive oil, heavy cream, cheese, sour cream, avocados. Now that's my favorite on this list, okay? Avocados have so many great things in them. They are healthy fat, and that's a good way to add a few calories. Nuts on top of whatever you eat. Nuts are another good one I really like on this list. So those are all things you can add if you need to have ways to add extra calories. Weight gain. All right, so now we got the opposite problem. We're gaining too much weight on our treatment. So we got to do the opposite things. So we're going to avoid all those high calorie foods. So again, anything that's fried, cheese isn't great. Anything that really tastes wonderful sometimes, I think you can put that on this list, right? You want to go with things that have nutrition, like you can put in low calorie fruits. So for instance, a banana, which we're going to put in our smoothie tonight, turns right into sugar. Whereas if you eat berries, it's not as hard on your system, doesn't spike the sugars because it's a slower absorption. So picking the right fruits can help. Avoiding the starchy vegetables like our potatoes, our squashes, those kinds of things. Doesn't mean you can't have any, but just have less of that and eat a lot more of the non-starchy vegetables, which are the things we make salads and asparagus and broccoli and cauliflower and all those good things. Drinks. There's a lot of hidden calories in drinks. We don't even think about it. Oh, I don't even know. What do you mean my iced tea has 500 calories or my Starbucks? Oh my gosh. I had a favorite drink there, looked it up. Oh, I can't drink that anymore. It has so many calories. Can't believe it. Baked goods, of course, processed foods, anything that comes in a box usually is, and especially if it says low fat, that means high sugar. So, which is not good. You want to try to avoid carbs. Find a friend to stay active with you. When we exercise, it has so many good benefits. So, and it doesn't have to be exercise. It can just be movement, right? So some people are put off by the idea of exercising. We just need to move. It can be any way we want to. Keeping a journal. Now you don't even have to write it out. We have all these fun apps on our phones. You can take a picture of your phone and record what you eat. So you can keep it. So you just kind of get an idea. Well, where am I eating all those calories? And it's a good way to track and motivate yourself. All right. The color of food matters. So you can see here, I always tell my patients, you want to eat the rainbow. Not only when you sit down, you have that rainbow of food colors on your plate, it just makes you feel good. Do you know why they make M&Ms in multicolors? Our brain says we're supposed to eat multicolors. So, but the problem is we'd rather eat the M&Ms and the Skittles and the Trick cereal or whatever else comes in multiple colors. And we really need to eat this stuff. So eat something yellow, something red, something orange, something green, something blue, black, purple. That's 5 servings a day is what's recommended in fruits and vegetables. 1 fruit, 4 vegetables, okay? Protein, that's really important. Protein's kind of the building block for our muscles. Most of our tissues are made of protein. We need to get clean, healthy proteins. Here's a couple good examples. You got your salmon there in the center, some eggs, there's beans. Those are really good protein sources. Carbohydrates. Again, I recommend gluten-free, whole foods, lots of color. That's what you want to eat when you're looking at your carbohydrates, not the donuts and the cookies and the chips and the crackers that we all easy grab. And then fat is, we used to think fat made people fat. That's not the case. It's actually carbs that make people fat. And we need a certain amount of healthy fat. And if we have a little bit of healthy fat, it helps satisfy us. So olive oil is really good, coconut oil, the avocados there, walnuts are good. So lots of healthy fats out there. The nuts, you have to be a little careful because sometimes you can't just eat one nut. Before you know it, half the bag's gone, right? That's too many nuts, there's too much fat. So there's kind of a balance there. All right, managing long-term effects of cancer. So again, staying positive, taking one day at a time, and enjoy the moment of what we have today, because none of us are guaranteed a tomorrow. So we all need to be in our moment, in the moment now, be here, be present, and we spend so much time, I'm guilty too, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next week, or what so-and-so said to me last week, or what happened last week, and I miss what's happening right here, right now, not connecting to the people I'm with. Got to do that. Take breaks. We all need to rest, but if you've gone through cancer treatment or are going through cancer treatment, you need to give yourself a break. We all need breaks, but especially you. Don't overdo it. Sometimes you think, well, but I'm done treatment. Aren't I supposed to feel better? Well, you're going to have a long recovery. It's not overnight. You didn't happen overnight that you felt bad necessarily. And it's going to take a long time to get over it, perhaps. Take advantage of the good days, right? When you have energy, that's when you do stuff. And when you don't, then take it a little easier, but still move. Remember, doing that movement will help you get more energy. So again, it's always a balance. Toxic thoughts. I don't know about you, but I've got thoughts going through my brain. I don't even know are going through there. I don't even pay attention to them sometimes. So we have to sit and be still sometimes and one of the things, if you ever try to meditate, like all these little things come in your brain. You're like, I'm supposed to be deep breathing right now. Oh, but Sally said this and I got to do that. And I've got all these thoughts, or you're not good enough. I mean, there could be 100 different thoughts that are running through your mind. And the thing is, most of them aren't true. Or if they are true, they're not benefiting us. So why are we thinking? Just get rid of them. Very, very important. Okay. Benefits when we're a cancer survivor to nutrition. That's what's going to help us regain our strength. We want to maintain a healthy weight. It helps us manage any ongoing side effects that we've just had from our treatment. Fatigue, appetite, taste changes. Usually they do get better over time once you stop treatment. Nutrition is critical to healing. All right, we just killed this cancer. Well, we have to heal that area. How are we going to do that? We need nutrients to do that. It helps reduce the risk of future cancer. We know that obesity is associated with all kinds of cancers. So if we can get our body weight down, that really helps us prevent another cancer. Obesity causes a lot of inflammation in the body. What we eat can cause a lot of inflammation in our body. So we want to avoid inflammation because inflammation is not only at the root of cancer, but heart disease, diabetes, musculoskeletal problems, arthritis, all kinds of things. So the less inflamed we are, the better. And then helps us maintain healthy weight, which is key. So 4 basic questions about eating. Am I eating the rainbow? And again, it has to be natural, whole foods. Am I getting a variety of foods? Sometimes you're getting food ruts. Do you guys ever do that? Where you just like eat the same thing over and over again? Get the cookbook out. Here's 2 right here. There's tons of resources online that you can use. I mean, gosh, they tell you how to do everything online. You can cook anything, just Google it. But we need to mix it up, right? We gotta try something new, try a new recipe. And then focus on quality of food too. So, don't always go buy the big boxes at Costco. Maybe you can just buy a small amount and get a healthier amount. And be aware of how your body's responding to food. Sometimes people don't realize, I was feeling kind of no energy, just kind of blah. I was eating crud food. I stopped eating that and I have so much more energy and my mood's so much better. And I just think, why did I eat that stuff? I don't know, because it looked good at the time, but I now know as I've been watching my body how I respond to food. And so often we don't even think about what we're eating. We're just watching TV or on the computer or who knows what, putting stuff in our mouths. So recommendations for cancer prevention, that's again, keeping your weight healthy, being active, eating a variety of grains, vegetables, fruits, beans, less meat, more veggies, limiting fast food, processed food, high fat, high sugar foods. Alcohol is just an empty calorie. It's all carbs. It's not good for you. Hard to avoid that for some people as well. It says do not use supplements to protect against cancer. I've used and I recommend some supplements, but the best is nature. So if you can eat a healthy diet, you don't necessarily have to have a supplement, but it's kind of a catch-22. And you do want to talk about any supplements you might be taking with your provider to make sure they're not going to have interaction with any drugs that you might be taking. Okay, why are plant foods so healthy? Well, plants have antioxidants. What's an oxidant? What's oxidants do? That's what causes rust, right? We want rust. No, we need more antioxidants so we don't rust, because our body's cells can rust too, right? So it helps prevent damaged cells, delays. It delays the damage to the cells. The phytonutrients, as I said, there's a whole chart in this thing. That's those plant nutrients. That's that color. That's what we want to eat. Grapes and berries is just an example. Has polyphenols. Those are our blues and our purples. You can think of blue for brain. They're always blueberries are really good for your brain. So if you're having some fogginess from your chemo, maybe eat some blueberries. That might help your brain. Cruciferous vegetables, the broccoli, the cabbage, the Brussels sprouts, kale. We're going to put kale in our smoothie tonight. What those do is they help the body detoxify. So try to get a serving of some type of cruciferous vegetable every day. Really makes a difference. All right, now how do I set a SMART goal? What is a SMART goal? SMART goals, it stands for, it's a mnemonic, and the S stands for specific. So we don't want to just say, I'm going to eat better. Well, how are you going to eat better? You want to be very specific about what your plan will be. You want to do it measurably. So let's say I'm going to exercise. Well, how many days a week are you going to exercise? That's measurable. If I just say I'm going to exercise, don't put a number on it, it's not as measurable. Attainable. Well, if I say I'm going to run a marathon, I'm not ready to run a marathon. So that's not attainable. So make your goals small to start. You can always build on them, but it's much better to try an attainable, something you know, I can do that. Like maybe it's just walk 2 blocks a day. I have patients that's their goal for exercise. Or maybe if they check their steps, they're only doing maybe 100 to 200 steps a day. Well, let's add 50. Maybe we can do that. So make it attainable, realistic. So the other thing is, time is a problem for a lot of people. We want to make sure that you're setting a goal that's doable for you at this time in your life. So realistic, and then timely, should have a time frame that you can track. So that's what a SMART goal is. I do this with a lot of my patients that are trying to lose weight, that are just trying to get healthier. Some of my cancer patients, we set SMART goals all the time. It's a good method. It's used in industry, it's everywhere. We can definitely use it here. Okay, what's an oncology dietitian? It actually is a special certification. And do we have one in this area? Do you know? I know they have one that's working at the cancer center that's here.
I know Christy works here. I'm not sure if she's an oncology dietitian.
Okay, I don't know of one, so I was just asking. There are quite a few good dietitians in the area though, but I don't know if they have this certification, but obviously you could research that, be a good resource for you. Dietitians are wonderful people, so highly recommend that. And then here are some easy to prepare recipes. I don't know, this is the one we're going to make today. It's a kiwi green smoothie, and don't let the green color turn you off. It's going to taste good. It's got kiwi, banana, yogurt, honey, kale, and milk in it. You blend all the ingredients till smooth. That's not too hard, right? Anybody can do this. So again, if you wanted to increase the nutritional value of it, you might want to add in a protein powder. You could change out the milk for an almond milk or something, an oat milk, some other kind of milk if you wanted. When you buy your yogurts, you want to try to get ones that are lower carb, and that's healthier. Okay, so you can kind of adjust this. You don't always have to put in the honey either, because it might be sweet without it. Here's a banana melon smoothie. And then here's a list of helpful resources. So did you want to say anything about those?
Yeah, just some websites that you can reference. The Cancer Support Community website is our headquarters website. There's a lot of great information on there, including a lot of our Frankly Speaking materials. So it's a great place to start. And all of the materials in there have links to other things. So it's a great starting off point for most research. And then of course, American Cancer Society, American Institute for Cancer Research, and Saber Health.
Yes.
Just some options for you.
So, and I think it's good to look at reputable websites. We all have to be careful when we're looking at, for information, particularly medical information, because, WebMD is not always the right thing to do. And anything that you find on the internet and you have a question about, it's always good to take that to your provider and see what they have to say. Wow, went pretty quick, didn't it? So
I've been keeping an eye on the Facebook comments, and I don't think we have any questions there, so I'm going to end the Facebook Live.
Okay,
And then we can just see